How you guys doing today? Good? Penny's in the house. Well, coming off a tough Thursday night loss, we had our usual Sunday night meeting, gathered the boys together, and obviously we're ready. I hope you guys are ready to move on to the next one. We got a huge opponent, Notre Dame, coming in here on Saturday at noon. They bring in a great football team, very well coached, obviously top 10 football team that is probably one of the most talented teams that will walk into Heinz Field this year. So, they're a national recruited team. From recruiting against them in the past and playing against them in the past, I don't know if Brian Kelly would admit this, but they pretty much go out there and have the pick of who they'd like to get in recruiting. And I think Sam probably knows that best, right? That's why Sam's locked out of practice this week, Jerry. You should get all the stories. He should get none. You know what I'm saying? So with that, we'll Notre Dame grad. So I think, right? So with that, you guys got any questions today?
We're let me get back on Notre Dame.
Since you brought it up, what do you remember from the 2013 game?
What do I remember?
Sour memories. PI.
I don't remember those. I remember they had like 220 yards of total offense. We lost the game, but good football team. Brian Kelly will hose it out and like to throw the ball down the field like he still does. So we expect to see the same.
Were you displeased with some of those calls?
What year are you talking about?
13.
Golly, that was so long ago, I don't remember.
You remember the 13th season, I'm sure.
Remember winning the Rose Bowl, that's about it. You remember the last one. Anything else, Jerry?
How do you guys use the extra days you get from Thursday game? Is there more prep in those Friday, Saturday, or is it you give the players some time off?
We give the players a lot of time off. They need it, I don't think it's easy. I don't think it was easy for North Carolina. I think it all depends on depth. But they had Friday off. They had injury check to make sure, they got in just to get their bodies taken care of, just make sure there's nothing that we didn't know about after the game. So have the guys check in with Rob Blank downstairs and just make sure they feel good that way. And Saturday, enjoy yourself. These kids got a lot of stresses in their lives, socially, academically, and then, we put it on them athletically. The stress is maybe the biggest one for these kids. So they need some time off. And frankly, the coaches need some time to get fresh as well. We put a lot of heavy work into that game, going into it, and coaches were on their iPads getting some work done, that's for sure. And, I made all my notes on my phone, just taking notes, during the game, watching. It's always good to watch the live TV game, too, which I'll go back and try to catch a couple of them during the week, whether it's, during the week or on an airplane traveling somewhere. So, I'm sure kids watched every lick of that football game.
You watched the Notre Dame Temple game, and what were sort of your impressions coming away from that one?
I thought there was a great atmosphere in Philadelphia, and Temple gave everything they had. They got a very talented team, and coach has done a great job of recruiting and again, played a great game. And, Notre Dame found a way to win, which is what they've done.
As you review Thursday's game, did you notice any more adverse effects of a short week than you might have Thursday night?
I think so. I think we had a little bit more emotion in the second half. Just as you watch the game, the third time I'm seeing guys get a little bit more emotional in the second half. I didn't see much celebrating going on in the first half, and maybe there was nothing to celebrate. I just didn't feel like we had the energy and passion that we needed to have in the first half. Is that tired team? I don't know. I talked to them last night just about, anytime we win as a team, and every time we lose as a team. And the first person that is going to take the blame is me. Did I have them prepared for the game? I thought we took some time off and games, a chance to be fresh. But what is right? I don't know how North Carolina practiced. I don't know what their depth issue is compared to ours. Again, I give them credit. They got it done. We didn't. And as a coach, you're always searching for why. That's our job. And first thing I'm gonna look and say maybe we didn't have them, physically ready to go and emotionally ready to go because of time. And for the future, I hope we don't schedule many Thursday games with a Saturday game prior to. I hope we have an open week. I don't think it benefits our kids, in any way. Academically, I think it's tough. They're sitting in a hotel on a Wednesday night when they got class, and some guys were over here at class on Wednesday night, and then had to, we had to have Chris LaSalle go pick them up. That's not good for anybody.
There's sort of those emotions. Do you talk to Olson at all about keeping it in check a little bit? Or?
Yeah, we talked.
Coach Cheney talked to him immediately. during the game, and Quadri's good. Quadri's a great kid. He's, I hope they get emotional. I want him to feel like that. It was good for us at Georgia Tech, but they, they can't, can't act like that, and go overboard, I guess.
Is he okay?
How good, he ran.
Yesterday, and he's ready to go. I think he'll, no question, be ready to go. I don't want him getting, hit like he normally would be, but he'll be fine.
These last 3 games, you guys have just 1 sack. Are you able to point out any reasons for that beyond just what the opponents do on offense?
No, I mean, it's called make a play, MAP. It's one of the things that we talk about all the time. You got to make a play. And, if we sack the guy 3 out of the 4 times we missed, or 5 times that we missed, we had opportunities, and we've had opportunities every week to get those and clean it up. And you got to make the plays. Freeze comes through there, Juan comes through there at times, and we're just not making the tackle. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm just glad they came through untouched. That's my job, is to get them there, and Coach Conklin's job is to get them there. But, you obviously got to give their quarterback, credit for sidestepping them and making a miss. But we got to make sure we keep our eyes open, I guess. I don't know. If we got our eyes closed, something we got to look at.
Do you feel like, upon watching the film, that you guys weren't getting there enough, that it was just a sort of missed tackles?
No, we weren't getting. I mean, when we did get there, we didn't finish it, and then there was times we didn't get there fast enough and hung our DBs out to dry. And I always say that there's some times where we should have a coverage sack and we don't get it, and there's times that we got to make the tackle and help the DBs out. So it takes 11. Like I said in the press conference after the game, it takes 11 guys on that field. And it's never the pass rush, and it's never just the secondary. It's a combination of. I think of their 271 total yards, they had really in 5 plays, they had 201 yards in 5 plays. And if you pulled those 5 plays up, you'd say it's 11 guys not doing their job.
Does that change moving forward how you sort of try and get pressure? Is it you want to blitz more to try and get there, or
No, I think. No, I mean you do what you do, but you got to do it better. And I don't think it changes what you do. You just got to be more consistent, and you got to make a play. And Deshaun Kaiser's a good player too. Let's not forget that. It's another, so you're facing some, some very athletic quarterbacks here in the ACC, and then also with Kaiser. So good football player. So you're gonna have to put your chest on them, not just your hands. You got to put your chest on them, and when you have an opportunity, you got to make it. You got to take advantage of it.
The defense, can you sort of point out a reason why maybe the slow starts the past 3 weeks?
Just inconsistency. I mean, you put that first drive, and I could put on a clinic first drive, and and again, North Carolina's got a good football team, but we're not doing the little things right, and Darryl can probably touch on it because he's watched he watched the first series yesterday here as a defensive unit. I mean, it's stuff that we've done since day one that we've got to do. Does the emotion get to you, and you start to we should be through that after the games we've been through. It's doing the little things right, and if you don't do the little things right, you're not going to be a very good defense, and that's what we've showed the last couple of weeks, where we're just not doing the tiny little things right. And, if you don't do those right, we should be able to stop the run better than we have. That's the frustrating thing. They throw a 71-yard pass, I'm okay with that, but you better stop the run. So that'll be a major focus this week.
Was Lafayette sort of benched at the end of that game? Do you anticipate him being back in the...
I anticipate him being back as a starter. The senior captain for us, had a great year for us.
There was, just wasn't playing good at that point. They were going after him, and it was better to get him out there and see what another guy did. And Ryan Lewis came in and I think had like 27 snaps and did well. So it was good to get someone else in there. And, hey, you guys have bad days writing sometimes. I've seen some of your stuff, Jerry. I'm just kidding. Because I really don't read your stuff. But everybody has a bad day. And he didn't have a particular great day. He really didn't. Besides getting hung out, one time he lost his leverage. He's got to stay on the inside shoulder, and he let the guy come back across the field. But there's good articles and good plays, and you know what? There's some things as coaches we didn't do well enough either. And like I said, it starts with me and offense staff and defense staff. We got to find better ways to make our kids successful somehow, some way, and we will do that.
In the last 2 games, Pat, if you just strategically, you backed off the pass rush a little bit, you blitzing less.
I think we're blitzing more, which I think sometimes is a mistake, right, Darryl? When we should be able to play base defense, and I think when you start not trusting your base, then you start to do that. And our guys got to play better base defense so you don't feel like you have to, as I call it, junk it up. And I felt like we had to junk it up really the last 2 weeks because our guys aren't paying attention to the details in base. So we got to get that done.
You mentioned you coached against Brian Kelly a lot when you were at Michigan State. And how does this Notre Dame team compare to some of the others that you sort of faced?
They're as talented as you're going to see. I mean, second string quarterback, third string quarterback doesn't matter. When you look at Kaiser compared to Reese was the last guy we defended, and he's not a guy that was a mobile guy. He's a pocket guy that was going to throw it really well, very, very intelligent, and managed the game really good. Maybe Kaiser doesn't have as much of that, but it doesn't show. I'm just saying Reese was 10 out of 10 when it came to that. That had to be his specialty of getting Coach Kelly in the right play and putting that offense in position to be successful. I can't imagine a freshman being, or a young guy, I don't know, is he a redshirt freshman? But I can't imagine Deshaun being as good as that. But, he can obviously make plays and make all the throws he needs to, and he's a big, big guy.
Coaching staff, is there anything you need to do to make sure players aren't, over playing the top team or playing Notre Dame, just make sure that they're focused on?
We got to focus on what we got to focus on us ourselves. I mean, it's not about, what about what North Carolina did Thursday night. It was about what we didn't do. And that'll be the same focus this week. So it's not who they are, it's who we are.
You look at the downfield passing game. I know you said before that you don't necessarily need that in offense if everything else is working right, but do you think there may be the reasons that you haven't been able to get that going? Is it lack of separation from the receiver?
You watch the tape. You tell me. I mean, I see a lack of separation at times. At times it looked like they were running our route for us. So, we got to get guys that can get open and get off a press and get open. So that's our receiver's job, and then look back for the ball when they are open. So there's a little bit of everything. But again, we knew they had a great pass defense, and if you got to the point where you had to throw it, we knew they'd be all over you and make it hard for you to get open. That's what they do.
Are you happy with the state of your running game right now?
I won't be happy if we rush for 300 yards a game, I guess. But no, not we need to get some explosive gains. We're not getting that. Obviously, James didn't coming back this weekend, so those guys are still work in progress. They aren't the ACC Player of the Year or all conference players yet, and every week they're young. I mean, and Darren Hall didn't get any reps last weekend. He's young. Just didn't come to that, but he'll get some snaps this weekend, and Quadri Olson's still the guy. But those other guys are all going to get opportunities in the Notre Dame game for sure. So we need to spread it around and see who gets hot again. And but we need someone to break a couple big runs. We got to have more explosive plays on offense, defense, whether it's deep balls or catching a short one and taking it to the house. I mean, we've got to get some more of those plays going. And it's hard to be a great offense when you're not getting explosive gains. And I know you want deep balls, and so do I. But again, it's also what the offense is giving you, and again, what you can do. And that's what we're capable of doing right now. We got to get better.
At the end of the half, Thursday night, he's playing what happened with the clock and seemed to be running a little more than he wanted. Maybe he got a little bit intense.
After the first down?
Yeah. And when after Nate had the outline.
Yeah, I mean,
We had headphone problem. And I thought the offense was going, fast tempo, 2 minute was going to get on it. I mean, obviously every first down you get, the clock's going to keep running. And, we didn't do a good job communicating. We had a little headphone issue, and that's why I was upset because, we should have called a timeout. But you can't, you only got so many timeouts. You'd like to save them as you get down near the goal line. So we had some headphone problems.
Whose responsibility is to call a timeout?
it's my job. No doubt. But it's also
Got to be communicated. If I know they're going to go, I don't want to call a timeout without Coach Chaney knowing it because we're going to get up on the ball and call play. And that's what we had planned on early. You don't want to use your timeouts until later on if you can save them. Obviously, you want to save your time, if you got a chance to kick a field goal at the end. So that was the issue there.
You guys made good use of another defensive punt on Thursday. Does it ever get to the point now where
it wasn't good use of it.
Though, got a first down. Was about all it did.
But does it get to the point now where you can't use that effectively as much once you do it a couple times in a row? Or?
I don't know.
That's Notre Dame. I don't know. You tell me.
We thought they'd been ready for
It all depends on what it is and how you do it. I mean, we're always going to have a couple ready, different ones, whether it's a pass or a run. We've got them worked up so it's spring ball that we're going to have them available. And if you feel good with them, you run them. I can tell you this, it's going to take a little bit of pressure off the pressure people putting on us. They had safe out there. They had some 6 foot, 5, 6'6" D tackles out there that we got moved on. So you would think it'd be good versus a bunch of receivers, DBs that are rushing or trying to hold up, but you know, I mean, they had their safe in there. They went safe and gave up a 6-yard gain. So does it work? I don't know. It all depends on who it is, but you know, people got to look out for it as well.
Do you feel that Chad still has a role in this offense?
You know, obviously it's diminished a little bit as we go on, but he'll have a role this week. But you know, it's something to be, you know, something to see. He's got a role every week. Right now, he's the backup quarterback, and you know, you can see how fast, whether you're a backup tailback or a backup quarterback, you know, whether it's in the NFL or in college football, you can be in the spotlight real quick. So you have to be ready to go. And you know, like I said, Chad's a leader on this football team, and you know that's where we are right now.
Is this a good time to be playing Notre Dame so you maybe revalidate what you've done so far?
You know, I don't know if there's ever
A good time to play Notre Dame, right? I mean, it's a good football team. You know, it doesn't matter when we play them, whether it's the first 4 games or late in the season. It doesn't matter. You know, we don't have to revalidate what we've got going or what we've done. You know, every week we got to go out and play football, try to win a football game.
A little different this week, though, not an ACC game, doesn't count in the conference standings.
So
We talked about that last night. That this game, you know, is a game that's not going to affect, you know, the next 3 ACC games after that. But you know, we're focused on Notre Dame.
What were your impressions of Duke, Miami, and the fallout?
you know, when I was
Watching another game at the time, and you know, it is what it is.
What are your thoughts on Frank Beamer announcing his retirement?
you know,
He's a legend coach. You know, he talked, you know, loyalty and legendary. You know, really, when you look at his name, I mean, how many coaches stick around like he does, and that's why I respect. He's kind of my kind of guy, just because of the loyalty he's shown there. I'm sure he had plenty of times he could have left Virginia Tech for another job, but that was his home. He made it a home, and he became a legend there. And you know, he'll be a legend forever in Hokie history, I guess.